hashtag Pro-Rel for USA is
toxic.
Sometimes.
It's been nice knowing y'all. Because this ain't going to end well for me. Now listen, I'm not saying the idea of promotion and relegation is toxic. I'm not even saying that wanting promotion and relegation in this country is toxic. I'm saying some of the people that are using this hashtag are doing way more harm than good. Now this is important. I encourage everyone to have an open mind about this. Go check out these people for yourselves, because who knows? Maybe they say something that really resonates with you. Maybe you agree with them on these points. That's okay. We're all allowed to have our opinions here.
All right, Ben Fast, you're up first. Let's see what you got to say.
98% of USA's gigantic soccer fan market demographic has zero idea that today is even MLS Cup semifinal day. That just goes to show you how big of a failure the MLS McFranchise closed system experiment is.
Whoa! Yikes! 98% of American soccer fans not aware of the MLS Cup semifinals going on? That's not good. But where are you getting these numbers from? I'm Googling it right now and nothing's showing up. Can you give me a source, please?
Well, it's definitely not from the article that you wrote, that you shared 10 times since the beginning of December. And yes, I am counting you retweeting your own tweet as sharing it twice. Hey man, I'm proud of my work too, but you want to write something else by now? In here, you state that as of the start of 2018, Major League Soccer captures just 6% of USA's total soccer TV viewership. And then you mention later on that 6% number is actually shrinking. I'm assuming those numbers are coming from this article here on World Soccer Talk. What I wish you would have included is that MLS games on national TV only make up about 7% of the total games broadcasted in this country. Look, I'm not saying 6% of total soccer TV viewership is impressive, but it's at least comparable to the amount of MLS games that are actually on TV. And yeah, it shouldn't be surprising that the number of USA's total soccer viewership is going to shrink a little bit in years where World Cup qualifying ramps up, and also in years with, the actual World Cup. A better measurement of success or failure of MLS on TV is to actually look at the TV ratings. While numbers have fluctuated over the years, some years have been up, some down, it should be noted that ratings have been up the last 2 years.
Listen, Ben Fast is not wrong about MLS struggling with TV numbers. MLS absolutely is not as popular as EPL or Liga MX or the USMNT in this country. And as a critic of MLS, he's smart to bring up those points. But I just don't think he's being very honest with the numbers. I mean, the statistics that he's sharing are either old or blatantly wrong. I mean, the article he keeps sharing is 4 years old at this point, and it should be noted that MLS experienced a pretty good ratings boost in 2022. ESPN and ABC were up 16% from the previous year, and this MLS Cup was the third most watched MLS championship in its history, with 2.1 million viewers between Fox and Univision. So his claim that 98% of American soccer fans are not just watching the game, are not even aware of the game, nah, I'm not buying it.
Now, obviously, soccer goes beyond just the TV numbers. So what does Ben have to say about the fans of MLS? In MLS, the cosplay hipster ultras incessantly bang drums behind the goal and sing out of tune, while the minivan suburban casual soccer fan demographic only stands up for corner kicks.
Do you not see the irony here, Ben? I mean, oh my God. You say no one's into MLS, but then you see a stadium full of fans being excited and your reaction is, oh, they're a bunch of cosplayers? First of all, who cares? Why are you being such a fun cop here? Like, let the fans have fun the way they want to have fun. And second of all, don't you think you're doing a little bit of gatekeeping here? You know, the thing you're accusing MLS of doing by being a closed system?
Listen, I have no issue with anyone choosing not to watch MLS. It's my favorite league, yeah, but I know it's not for everyone, and I know a lot of people hate the league simply because of the lack of promotion and relegation. Fine, I get why people are passionate about that. But Ben Fast says his goal is to make USA the greatest soccer nation in the world. And he doesn't do anything to try and do that, but shit on MLS. Case in point, 2020 MLS Super Draft. Nashville SC had the second overall pick, and they selected Jack Mayer. And in one of the coolest, most heartwarming moments in MLS history, Nashville decided to send its supporters by bus to surprise the draft pick on the front yard of his own home. Jack Mayer's dream of becoming a pro soccer player realized, and he got to celebrate with his new supporters who made him feel welcome on day one. What an unbelievable scene. And what does Ben Fast comment? Stay woke, USA soccer fans. Oh, thank God he shared that article again. I really needed to read it again.
Dude, we get it, okay? You don't like MLS. That's fine. But time and place, man. Seriously. You don't see me bringing up the gun control debate at my grandma's funeral during the eulogy, because that's probably not the best time to do that. Let the kid have his day. What'd he do to you? You don't have to comment on everything MLS posts. I promise you, your fans would have been fine if you just would have skipped this one. It just gets to a point where it's obnoxious. Push for Pro-Rel. Fight for what you believe in. But this player's going to have zero impact on the Pro-Rel landscape in this country. Why are you taking your anger out on him or the fans by calling them cosplayers? Hate on MLS all you want, but when you do it like this, I promise you, we have a hard time taking you seriously.
Okay, next up, Ted Westerfeld, aka Soccer Reform on Twitter. Soccer Reform. A little on the nose there, huh, Ted? Like Ben, Ted doesn't like MLS. And like Ben, he makes sure you know about it. Here's an old tweet from March 2019 that I saved on my phone. Today in American professional soccer. Stadium half full? Call it 70,000 plus. Yeah, that stadium does look pretty empty, all right. Definitely not a good look for Atlanta or MLS. But wait a minute. Let's zoom in on this picture. Do you notice anything missing? Where's the other team? They're nowhere to be found. Why? Because they're in the locker room. Because it's halftime. Yeah, Ted sent a picture of halftime. What do people do at halftime? They get food. They go to urinate. They leave their seat. One of the responses to this tweet was another picture during the second half, and I know it's a little blurry, but that stadium looks pretty damn full to me.
Now let's give him the benefit of the doubt, because maybe he was just mistaken. Maybe he wasn't aware that it was halftime. That's okay. I've tweeted out some dumb things before. I put my foot in my mouth before, but I'd like to think that I can at least acknowledge my mistake. And when someone pointed this out, silence. Zero response from @SoccerReform. And this is a guy that's tweeted almost 400,000 times. Damn. Seriously, damn, that's impressive numbers right there. My wife thinks I tweet too much. And a lot of those tweets are replies because Ted loves getting into it with MLS fans on Twitter. So, no, I'm not buying that he didn't see this tweet of a full stadium. I just don't think it worked with his agenda, so he didn't bother on commenting.
Ted is not the first guy to question the attendance numbers from MLS. And I get it. A lot of people think it's misleading to use tickets sold and not, actual people showing up to the game as the measurement for attendance. And there are plenty of markets you can look at and say, that's not good enough. But Atlanta is not one of them. Regardless of what you think about MLS and if they should have promotion and relegation or not, you can't say that Atlanta doesn't bring impressive numbers. I just think this strategy is really weird by Ted here. Instead of trying to convince us that Atlanta doesn't actually have fans, which, come on.
I don't know. I just think a more convincing talking point would be to say, hey, look at this. Don't you want this everywhere? Because there are plenty of passionate soccer cities around this country that you won't ever know about because they don't have a fair opportunity to getting promoted up to the first division, which you do kind of say that. You just refuse to give credit to the cities that are actually doing it because they play in a league you don't like. Yeah, I just gave you a better strategy for pushing Pro-Rel. You're welcome. Now, I absolutely believe that if you want to have a big audience, if you want people to hear your message, you gotta be a bit shameless. You have to be able to take criticisms with a grain of salt and just keep moving on. And honestly, I never thought it was possible to be too shameless. Until now.
Grant Wahl, probably the most prominent soccer writer this country has ever seen, sadly passed away December 10th, 2022, while covering a World Cup quarterfinal in Qatar. While Grant Wahl did have his critics, everyone was in shock over the news, and just about everyone was deeply saddened by this. Because even if you didn't agree with everything he said, it was hard to deny the impact he had on the game in this country. Absolutely brutal news about Grant Wahl. Shocking. Thoughts go out to his family. I was looking forward to engaging with him for years to come. Very respectful message by Ted. But then, he just had to turn it into a conversation point about Pro-Rel. Responding to another tweet, Ted said he was on the right path. And he shared an old tweet of Grant Wahl saying, "Seriously, so tired of MLS being crap."
Nice, Ted. Real nice.
I actually remember when Grant Wahl said this. It was in response to Sporting Kansas City, the last MLS team alive in the 2019 CCL, getting absolutely bitch-smacked by Monterey and basically eliminating them in the first leg. And as an MLS fan, yeah, that was a bad night. Not that the context really matters. In fact, it could have been the exact opposite scenario. If I had shared a tweet about Grant Wahl praising MLS, it doesn't matter. It would have been the wrong time because you don't use the death of someone to push your agenda. Now, people were pissed about this tweet, and rightly so. And usually, when everyone is mad at something one says, one of two things might happen. They might take a step back, reevaluate what they said, and either apologize or clarify what they meant. Or they double down on everything they said, further pissing everyone else off more. You want to guess what Ted did?
I think what he doesn't realize is that it's not even about the message. It's about the timing. He thinks everyone is mad because it was something negative about MLS. He thinks all these MLS bots are out to get him. Dude, that's not what it is. Like, even fans of Ted said to him on Twitter, dude, you fucked up. And he still tried justifying it. I don't know, man. Just saying what you said a couple hours after his death, I don't know, it just doesn't look like you really cared about him and that you really only cared about a tweet he shared to make MLS look bad. Ted, keep fighting for what you believe in, but I probably wouldn't tie it into a man's death next time. It's just not a good look.
Okay, last person I want to talk about. Chris Kessel. Like Ben and Ted, if you read enough of Chris Kessel's Twitter, you can find out that he is definitely not a fan of MLS.
But here's the difference. I respect Chris a hell of a lot more than I respect Ben or Ted because I know what his goal is. It's crystal clear. He wants to get promotion and relegation incorporated in this country. Whereas with Ben or Ted, sometimes I can't tell if that's their number one priority or if their number one priority is just to keep attacking MLS. Like, yeah, Chris will criticize MLS, but not by presenting manipulated stats or taking petty cheap shots at the fans or the players, but rather by questioning the core structure of this league. And to be fair to both Ben and Ted, you can find them doing that too. Look, I'm not saying they haven't done their research. I'm not calling them dumb. I'm just saying it seems like they know they get more of a reaction by slandering MLS. But what do I know? I'm just an MLS shill after all.
Disclaimer, JDT Radio is not in any way compensated by MLS. Chris Kessel appeared on the 11 Yanks YouTube channel to discuss promotion and relegation, and I was extremely impressed with his poise and delivery. And yes, he did bring up his criticisms of MLS, but never did I feel like it was disrespectful. No, I didn't love his idea of changing soccer to a more regional college football format, but I understand where he was coming from, and I would absolutely be willing to hear more about this idea. Also, he's actually trying to do something about it. He's gathered hundreds of signatures from lower level clubs wanting Pro-Rel. He's talked to several soccer community leaders. Like, he's doing a hell of a lot more than just bitching online. And that's another thing that I really respect.
All right, now I know some of you probably think I'm a clown for making this, and that's fine. I get it, but I just want to make this point very clear one more time. I am okay with criticisms of MLS. I just think some of the ways that Ben and Ted and some of the other people do it is toxic. When you lie about certain points to prove your point, and when you shame the fans and the players, I'm just not going to take you very seriously. But again, like I said at the beginning, I encourage you to go check out these people for yourselves, and who knows, maybe they can make you a believer. With that being said, the conversation of Pro-Rel in the United States ain't ending anytime soon, and I really tried hard not to give any of my own input on this topic because I wanted the focus of this video to be how others portray the message. If you do want to hear my opinions on it, let me know and give me a while because I gotta research a lot for this one. And if you are gonna be part of the conversation, if you are #Pro-Rel for USA, all I gotta say is, be like Chris.